Do you believe that democracy is lacking in Armenia? And if so, what can be done about it?
Of course, democracy is lacking in Armenia. Not only in Armenia, I think all the post-Soviet territories, except Baltic republics, have the same problem, lack of democracy. But some of these countries can allow themselves this luxury, lacking of democracy, but not Armenia. For Armenia, it's vital. Democracy, establishment of democratic institutions, democratic practices is vital interests of Armenia. And what can be done about that? First of all, free, transparent, democratic elections. We have to form our government by the people's will. That's all. After that, other decisions will bring different nuances, different additions to this main decision. But first of all, we must hold democratic elections.
What makes the ARF elections program unique from those of other parties? For instance, the Heritage platform.
I'm not going to compare them because I don't think it's a correct thing. But I can speak about our program. Our program is full of exact promises to exact segments of our population. First of all, we would like to speak not about the population, but about the citizens. We want to make our population, inhabitants of Armenia, make them citizens. After that, every number, every figure mentioned in our program, 200,000 of new working places, triple GDP and national budget, cheap apartments for young couples, and of course we absolutely sure that we can raise salaries at least twice. And every such figure can be proven by our economists. They made huge work, and our program, I'm sure, will serve in the future, no matter who will win, no matter who wins. Our program will serve as a base for the next government's work. That's the difference, not only between us and Heritage, but between us and others, so that we never compare us with some concrete, some special party, neither governmental nor oppositional. We propose to our people very simple choice: Dashnaksutsun or others. If Dashnaksutsun, changes will be made, and very soon. If no, then everything will remain the same.
What is the mechanism that Dashnaksutsun, in cooperation with the other opposition parties and Prosperous Armenia, combat election fraud? And for instance, how can carousel voting and vote buying be stopped at the polling stations?
The last one is the most difficult to catch. I mean, electoral bribes, because giving and taking bribe is some intimate process. It is very difficult to catch. We have some signals from the provinces, from the Yerevan city about such things, but imagining the mass infusion of money by coalitional parties, it is nevertheless very difficult to prove in court of law. So other possible violations, of course, we can stop together. We can stop together at least some of them. But main thing we worked out together, especially Dashnaks and Prosperous Armenia, is our application to the Constitutional Court about publishing the lists of voters who participated in elections the day after the elections, make them available, at least these lists. If Constitutional Court will reach a righteous decision, which is to make it possible, such publishing, then any kind of violation will be cut short, will be really, we will create really serious obstacles for such practices. But it is difficult to promise that the sole existence of such a pre-electoral common staff will help to eliminate any kind of violations. Reduce, yes, but eliminate, it is difficult to promise such things on this stage.
Can you imagine a new coalition in the National Assembly composed of opposition parties as the majority?
No, I don't think such a political alliance can be viable and can be discussed right now, because with some oppositional parties we have very serious ideological and political differences. For example, Armenian National Congress and Dashnak Party have so little in common and so much of differences that the only field today we can work together is to create an atmosphere of transparent and free and fair elections. But that such cooperation does not mean absolutely political alliance. I think in a way the same can be said about other kind of alliances. Today I don't see such possibility, but you never say never in politics. So if the situation changes dramatically, internal situation or external situation, foreign relations and so on, everything is possible.
Yesterday I spoke with David Arutunian, and he expressed that the Republicans have no fear that they will lose the majority in the National Assembly. Let's say, for instance, the status quo remains, and Taşakçıoğlu retains its number of seats. How will the party function in the National Assembly if the Republicans continue to do whatever they want? Already they rejected bills to increase the minimum wage and to reform the electoral code, so that elections are held on a party list basis only. How would it be possible to work with them in the future?
We will work not with them, we will work against them.
Can you elaborate?
Yes, because with every wrong step, with every mistake, they lose the base in the population. And they have no, my opinion is that they can achieve a success in the parliamentary elections only and only solely using administrative resources, operations and money. because no sympathy left towards them and their political platforms and programs because of the especially because of the last government's activity.
On May 1st in Harazdan, you said that citizens are not slaves and Tashatschun will never allow them to be slaves. Can you elaborate on that? Can you explain?
Yes, but that means very serious educational work too. You know, the slave, in reality, the slave does not want to be free. He wants to have slaves too. We have to break such a mood in our population that your force, your authority, your place in the society is higher when you have a right or possibility to oppress others. So it is not easy task, but we can do it. Of course, our history, Soviet times, before that, prevents to complete such task easily, but it is not impossible, and we'll reach it.
Do you believe that a socialist agenda can be pursued in Armenia today, since capitalism has become so strong?
I think the socialist agenda, as you put it, is the only one which can attract people really, because only the socialist receipts can save this country from economic and other collapses. Because socialist agenda, we have not to mix it with Bolshevik agenda. Socialist agenda is the agenda which creates today's Europe in its economic prosperity, human rights, achievements, and so on. So what we lack in Armenia is freedom and justice, which is a part of our slogan: freedom, justice, Tashnaktsutyun. But freedom and justice are the main points of this socialist agenda.
There are those who say that Tashatschun is weak, that it had its chance to make changes in the social and economic spheres, and it will never be able to change the system. What is your answer to such citizens?
I have no answers to such stupidity, because what means weak? If we don't raise an armed appraisal, does that mean that we are weak? No. We are clever enough not to make a turmoil in a country with many problems surrounding it. We are not weak. We are cautious. So those who are awaiting from us some kind of aventure, they can find other party. But we are not weak. We are strong, and I'm absolutely sure that everybody understands it, even those who claim themselves strong. For example, we know that parties in Armenia, the parties which emerged in the last 20 years after the independence, they formed themselves, gathered themselves either around money or around some charismatic or strong person, like field commander, or around power, nothing more. No ideas, no ideals, no vision of the future. Our party is created on absolutely other basis. So imagine that some party loses power, loses money, or the person around whom the party is gathered dies, for example. This party will dissolve in a matter of weeks. our party proved that even when all the leaders of the party are in jail, party functions absolutely like clock.
What steps are being taken by Taşakçı to strengthen civil society in Armenia?
One of the last examples, we helped to create the movement Vote is Power, Kven Užen, which gathered around itself many NGOs and many free people. That's the reason why our electoral campaign now showed signs of much more activity than, for example, previous campaigns. Members of the Armenian Revolutionary Federation's parliamentary faction participated in absolutely all civil movements, civil society movements, starting from ecological, educational, and others. Even young people of Dashnak party work with different NGOs defending the rights of the citizens, the rights of the peasants, and in this way our party is intertwined with these movements, never claiming itself their leader, because the social movements and political movements work in a parallel way, but not the same. There are points in the history of societies when political and social movements join. I think now in Armenia we are very close to this moment.